Hey, Steve Magnante here at High-Octane Classics in Auburn, Massachusetts with a really nice 1972 Camaro Rally Sport. Now, we all know that the second generation Camaro from 1970 through 1981 is an American classic. People love these things, and even though they were built largely during the smog 70s, they're still enduring classics. And they're also great candidates for upgrades. Now, we got to remember too, 1972 was the year that the Norwood, Ohio assembly plant endured a strike that went 170 days. 1,100 semi-completed Camaro Firebird, Ventura, and Nova bodies were crushed on site. Well, this car is a 73, so clearly, and when this was built at Norwood, Ohio, the Union and General Motors had patched things up. But if this car could talk, I imagine the guys who put this thing together would be grumbling, or maybe they were celebrating the fact they were back to work at Norwood in 1973. But again, this is a Rally Sport with the 350 engine, and we all know that Rally Sport means split bumper, urethane center grille surround, and 73 was the final year for the classic 70 through 73 Rally Sport split bumper nose on Camaro. Again, an iconic design of American automotive history. Now let's take a peek underneath the hood and see which engine we have. There we go. Yeah, small block power. Now this one here is a small block with iron heads, an aluminum intake, and a Rochester Quadrajet 4-barrel carburetor. Nice to see that. Has an HEI style distributor from Axle, which is an aftermarket improvement over the General Motors item. Aluminum finned valve covers, not factory stock, but they look fantastic and kind of bring you back to the early 60s with a very nice Corvette vibe. Heavy duty cooling system, cross flow radiator. Of course, disc brakes, power up front, all of this very correct, presented in semi-matte black paint. Now the cowl tag is here, and the 60 paint code indicates the original copper color, which has been resprayed, but very, very nicely done. It's just a nice example of a 73 Rally Sport 350 car. Now the VIN up here, we can learn 1972 is the first year that Chevrolet put an engine designator, so H means 352 barrel. That's just fine. And again, that 350 has been upgraded with a 4-barrel for probably another 20 horsepower or so. Inside, yes, beautiful to see. A few things that were new for 73 was the stick style automatic shift handle, replacing the horseshoe of 1970 through 72, and the center console was also a new design for 1973 up with a little cubby package tray in the back. And the steering wheel has a bit of a story. This was an option on 1972, but it became standard on all Camaros from 1973. Well, check it out. The same wheel was also used in Corvette and Vega. So a lot of Camaro buyers said, hey, that Vega steering wheel in my car, what's up with that? But it was also seen in Corvette, so it's kind of cancels out the Corvair, or the Chevette stuff, or Vega stuff. There you go. Inside, good to see the original 130 speedometer, factory tachometer, and just a nice presentation with the original bucket seats. Another detail, by the way, is for 1973, Chevrolet went from spring construction inside the seats to all foam construction, so they live longer and actually more comfortable than the springs used in 70 through 72. Now at the back of the car, we see yet another BF Goodrich radial TA. These are big and bigger. These are larger than the fronts, which kind of gives that car a ready to pounce stance. Reproduction Hurst style aluminum wheels, which pay tribute to the forged aluminum wheels of the 1960s, but without the weight. And the gold is a nice contrast, or complementary color, if you will, to the copper exterior. D80 trunk spoiler, beautiful and accounted for. And again, this is something that arrived late in 71 and 72. Earlier Camaros, 1970, 71 and a half, would have a smaller, shorter tail, but this ducktail piece right here is just iconic. Again, at the back of any Camaro, you've got to have it, and it's present and accounted for. Let's take a peek in the trunk and see what we find. Yeah, nice and tidy. And underneath the deck lid is the original sort of copper bronze paint right there. Nice to see that. The original jacking instruction sticker right there, crispy, but right there. You wouldn't want to touch that or get rid of it. It's very, very cool. Spare tire in the back, nice trunk mat, tidy presentation. And of course, under the trunk floor is the corporate 10-bolt with its 8.5-inch ring gear, which was new for 1972, replacing the 10-bolt or 12-bolt type axles. And again, that's a fine axle, nothing wrong with it. The 350 automatic here will certainly not stress it. And this is just a great driving car, an iconic American classic. Again, 1973, final year for the RS in Camaro land with the split front bumper. Beautiful stuff. And this car can be purchased with as little as 10% down. And keep in mind that High-Octane Classics is located in Auburn, Massachusetts. But if you don't live here, fear not. They'll ship it anywhere on the planet if you work a deal with High-Octane. And also, they do consider trades, late models, customs, bikes. It's all on the table. Bring it up if you'd like, and perhaps put a trade in toward the purchase of this 73 Camaro RS. Another thing too is that High-Octane Classics have been in business for about 15 years, and they're always looking to purchase collections, whether it's 1 or 20 vehicles. They want to talk to you. Their number is 508-859-4515. And finally, if you're thinking about maybe joining the team here at High-Octane Classics in Auburn, Massachusetts, as a sales or service professional, either if you're a seasoned pro or a newcomer with a solid work ethic, you might also want to call them at 508-859-4515. And to learn more about this 1973 Camaro RS 350 automatic 10-bolt fun machine, check it out on the High-Octane Classics website.